the Action Sports Jax postgame show.
Well, you just watched it, a game that, I don't know, wasn't meant to be. The Jaguars lose to Seattle 20-12 here at the bank. First loss of the year at the bank. We're going to break it down for you. You're going to hear from Liam Coen, Trevor Lawrence, and all the cast of characters coming up here in the next 45 minutes to an hour or so. Hi, everybody. Dan Hicken at the bank in the tunnel where you just watched it. We just watched it. Our fans just watched it. The Jags come up short. They come up short in a game that you never really felt like they were going to win, did you, watching this game today? They just got outplayed by Seattle. Maybe a little bit of a Monday night hangover, short week. Seattle coming off a home loss, smarting a little bit, needed to get a victory, came across the country, started slow. But in the end, shout out to the defense. They played tough, man. They got beat by about 3 plays, but the offense, I think, is becoming a little bit of a concern here. And there's a formula to beating our Jaguars, and that is don't turn the ball over. If you don't turn the ball over, you have a chance. And that's what Seattle did today. They took care of the football and did not turn it over, and ultimately Seattle was able to outscore us. Big concerns about the O-line for the first time now. They have been thoroughly outplayed in the last 2 games, in my opinion, especially today. Did you know that Trevor Lawrence was sacked a career-high 7 times? Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 7 times. Think about that for a second. Let that ruminate with you. Now, listen, we had a rookie center, but I don't think he was the problem. The tackles had a tough day at the office, especially the right tackle, in my opinion. So, looked like they had even made some moves on the offensive line. Udoga got in for Macari, so not able to run the ball. Just a struggle. Very physical team, Seattle, and they took it to our Jaguars, and were able to win actually 23-12 because they kicked that field goal late. There are the numbers. It's not good when we throw it 42 times, so that's what Trevor did. Now, he didn't throw a pick, so that's a positive, but Sam Darnold in 27 attempts threw for almost 300 yards. Both had 2 touchdowns. Look at the sacks, though. Again, 7 times to just 1 time for Sam Darnold. So that hurts. That hurts. And listen, welcome to Jacksonville, Greg Newsome. First play in the game as a member of the Jaguars, Jackson Smith and Jigba torches him for a touchdown, and not good at all. So back to the drawing board, back to work. The season's far from over. Every one of us would have taken 4-2 at this point. It's just tough. The NFL's tough, man. It's tough to win in the league. We got off to a great start. We just got to fix a few things. We got to head to London. Now we got to put a premium on getting a victory over there. The Rams won today against Baltimore. I did hear, and I don't know the severity of Puka Nacua getting injured, which would be a big deal and perhaps a big loss in London a week from today for the LA Rams. That's who we have next. But today, inability to run the ball. Offensive line couldn't block. Defense gave up big plays. And number 39, our kicker, is suddenly in a slump, I would say. Missed a field goal and missed a point after for the first time, I'm told, ever. Never missed a field goal in high school. Never missed a field goal in college, or a point after in high school. Never missed a point after in college, and had never missed a point after until today. Was pushing a lot of things right in warm-ups, according to a lot of you out there who were talking on social media that I was watching and listening to. So Jags end up losing, and the Colts won. So not good. Listen, it's hard. It's going to be tough. We talked about these first 7 games. Every one of us would have taken 4-3, quite frankly, but 5-2 will become important for the Jaguars going forward. We got to work on that offensive line, got to shore some things up. I don't think Trevor had a bad day, 27-42. I still think we got to get the ball down the field, and considering who we were playing against in the defensive secondary, I think Seattle was without 3 starters in the secondary, 3 starters. So I'd like to see more big plays. Brian Thomas Jr. had his best day, I think, for the Jags. He had 8 for 90. But other than that, not much. You got to get more than 15 yards out of Travis Hunter on 4 catches. I'm about tired of that little – I like to get him in space on the sideline where he's just got one-on-one and he can make that guy miss. this little bubble screen thing just has not worked all season long. Tim Patrick had a nice touchdown catch, so congrats to him. But yeah, Parker Washington just 2 for 29. I think we missed Brenton Strange, gang. I think we missed Brenton Strange work in the middle of the field. I think we missed Brenton Strange's blocking. I think we missed Brenton Strange. I think that is a noticeable loss for the Jaguars. And so, I don't know. The offense is not where it needs to be at all. 12 points ain't going to win you football games, not in the National Football League. It's just not. It's not going to get it done. So, the Jags are going to have to do much better offensively. Whatever it is, they got to get some answers. Again, Seattle's a very good team. And they're 4-2 as well. And they took it to us. And the NFC West is next up again with the LA Rams. So, but 7 sacks, that's going to be unacceptable. So don't know how long Hainsey's going to be out. And I don't think it was the center position. I don't know. The noticeable one to me was Anton Harrison at right tackle. I think he really struggled. You see Etienne, 12 carries, 27 yards. Bashal Tootin, 2 carries, 14 yards. You get behind by 2 touchdowns, man, you got to start throwing the football, and that's what happened today. And you get away from the run. But we couldn't run the ball anyway. We knew it was going to be tough sledding going in. Seattle has a very good run defense, very good. And, boy, forget about DeMarcus Lawrence being up there in the Great Northwest. And, well, I didn't forget about it after I watched him play. He dominated today on the defensive line. So, a lot of work to do. Long season to go. Can't win them all. Disappointing to lose your first here at the bank. First of the season. Can't lose many more at the bank if you want to be a playoff team. So we'll take note of that. All right, so what are we doing? We're awaiting Liam Coen. We'll get his comments here momentarily. Then we'll see who they bring up to the podium. Trevor Lawrence for sure. We'll get Brent as well. He'll work the locker room. And who else? I'm sorry. Jordan Lewis will be at the podium today, the author of Strapsonville, which we may want to put on the table for the time being. But yeah, tough loss today here at the bank. It wasn't going to last forever. It was a nice run. I feel your frustration as fans, but, you know, it's the NFL, and you don't win every single game. You just don't. So you have Brent's package. All right, let's hear from Brent Martineau right now and his thoughts as he makes his way to the locker room.
Sometimes the NFL is going to NFL a little bit. The Jacksonville Jaguars coming into this football game against Seattle in a tough stretch, right? The Houston game, obviously out to San Francisco. Monday Night Football against the Kansas City Chiefs. Some people thought they'd lose a game or two in there, but it was the Seattle game coming back home off a high of Monday night's win at 4-1 where it finally caught up to them. The Jaguars looked lethargic at times, especially on the offensive end. They got out physical noticeably for the first time this season against the Seattle Seahawks, who have a very good defensive front. And Trevor Lawrence was under duress the entire afternoon here in Jacksonville. He took 7 sacks. That's a career high. In fact, his previous high was on 2 occasions, 5 sacks against Buffalo in 2023, 5 sacks against Kansas City in 2022. So that's how much pressure Trevor Lawrence was under. They still had a chance to win the football game because that's the way the NFL works, but they did not. They could not capitalize on a couple of fourth quarter opportunities, and that Seattle defense did its job. The Jaguars now 4-2 after 6 games, a little bit more than a third of the way through the season. And they do have some really good things going overall, including their record, but they also have some noticeable things that might be a problem the entire way. And that includes penalties. Just too many penalties lining up, getting in the wrong spots, and then putting their offense in a tough situation. One today negated a touchdown to Brian Thomas Jr., although they would score on that drive a little bit later on. So the Jaguars now head to London on Monday to play the Rams. Rams, another good football team in this stretch, and it does seem pivotal, right? If the Jags can get to 5-2 through these first 7 games, that would exceed everyone's expectations. But right now, they're guaranteed 4-3, but 2 straight losses wouldn't feel so good going into the bye week. We'll go talk to the guys about this one before we jump a plane to London. For now, here at Everbank Stadium, I'm Brent Martineau, Action Sports Jacks.
All right, thank you, Brent. Appreciate that. Some insight. Let's look at some of the other scores from around the NFL. See, the Colts found a way. Now, look, Cardinals were a backup quarterback, Jacoby Brissett. They were in a dogfight, but the Colts were able to get it done and find a way to win. That's what you have to do. Same with the Chargers. They found a way to beat the Dolphins, right? Patriots found a way to beat the Saints. It's a big win. Steelers go to 4-1. They beat the Browns. But looky. The Cowboys lost to Carolina. Ooh, boy. There's your Rams-Ravens score. The Rams beating the Ravens. The Ravens without Lamar have no chance, and they're just plummeting. And their season's going to be over here pretty quickly if they don't start winning some football games. But there you see it. But again, the Colts with a big victory, and that gets them to 5-1, and us losing it. Now listen, the schedules change after next week, okay? That's the good news. For us, for the Jags, the schedule gets a little more manageable. We have had a tough, brutal schedule. If you think about it, team after team, good football teams down the line that we've been able to beat so far. So, tough loss at Cincinnati, tough loss here today. Those are two really different losses, though. Today, again, it just felt like we were never going to win that game, didn't it? At least it did to me. It just felt like and even as badly and poorly as we played, when Trevor found Tim Patrick, as you look at the AFC South standings, and Titans and Texans will play later or not play. I think the Titans, I know they play later. I don't know if Houston's off today or not. But anyway, even when Trevor hit Tim Patrick, as badly as they had played to make it 20-12, Liam Coen opted to go for 2. That's what the analytics tell you. I hate that, but whatever. That's what they all do. So if that's what they want to do, so be it. But they opt to go for 2. They don't make it, so it's 20-12. It feels always to me like you lose a little bit of momentum when you do that, as opposed to, getting the extra point. But I understand what they're trying to do, and they want to win the game 21-20. Nonetheless, they didn't make it happen. And so as badly as they played at 20-12, you're right back in the game. It's a one-score game. And to the defense's credit, 3 and out in the fourth quarter, 3 and out in the fourth quarter, 1 first down, and another 3 and out in the fourth quarter. Again, getting the ball back to the offense for opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, and that part is something that the Jags have got to fix. They cannot score 12 points in a football game. They have to get the offensive line better. They have to get the run game back, which started out the season so well, but has started to slip a little bit. I think they have to do that. And then, got to shore some things up on in the passing game as well. Listen, 27 out of 42 is fine. That's a good day. 2 touchdowns, no picks, high rating. That's a good day at the office. But you know what? This team, the Seahawks, they were missing 3 starters in the defensive backfield, man. I mean, you got to attack those guys. You ought to be able to. And again, if you can't stand back there and find time, I mean, Trevor a lot of times could barely get to his back foot to set up before there was a rush on top of him. So, disappointing all the way around. You win as a team, you lose as a team. Special teams left 4 points out there early. Makes a difference. Plays on your mind a little bit. Cam Little's got to get his thing fixed, man. Missing a point after and missing a field goal. That's not Cam Little. He's missed 3 field goals now, I think, this season, and a point after, which is, and again, we're only 6 games into the season. So lots of work to do for everybody here with this organization. And as you heard Brent say, they're off to London early this year. They're going tomorrow. The reason why is they're big on readjusting to the time zone when they get back, and they want to be acclimated to the time zone when they get back. They have a bye week, so they'll have a few extra days. So they'll be able to get over there, get acclimated to the different time schedule, instead of just going over on Thursday night, getting there Friday, doing your work Friday, getting rest Friday, a little walk through Saturday, playing the game Sunday, and getting the heck out of there. That's generally how they've done it, and they've had success doing that. So this will be studied. But this is the coach and the coach's only decision, I think, to go early. And they'll go early, they'll go tomorrow, and they'll be in London for a week. So maybe it'll be good for them to get away after a tough loss. But I think overall, 4-2, every one of us would take that. You take that, right? 4-2? You'd be happy at 4-2. You're happy at 4-2? Yeah, I'll get some nods. Sure, we'll take 4. I'm just disappointed about the performance today, which was a tough one. A beautiful day, though. We had a great day here in Jacksonville, FLA, and a good loud crowd out there as well. A few empty seats, but, Monday night hangover. So there's the schedule. It's popping up right now. We can't see it, but we'll let you know. I know it by heart by now anyway. Heading into the bye week with after the Rams game, they come back and, we got a lot of divisional games left. We go to Vegas right off the rip, Florida-Georgia weekend, and then you got the Texans in Houston. So tough games just because they're on the road and on the road only, but you're better than both of those teams. So, and you still have, and then you're back at the bank with the Chargers, who are a good team. You know what was interesting today? The Chargers, the Rams, and Seattle all came to the East Coast, and none of them scored in the first quarter, or maybe there's just a field goal. But all three of them won. But slow starts with the 10 a.m. Their body clock, it's 10 a.m., right? Because they're from the West Coast. They're playing here at 1, which is really 3 hours early. So they're playing at 10 a.m., and they all had slow starts. But in the end, the Chargers, the Rams, and the Seahawks were all victorious today. So think about that as they came to the East Coast. So much for it's tough to come across the country. Play good football, you can win anywhere. I think that's part of the message as well for the Jaguars. There's a lot to learn. It's a young football team. I tell you, I feel bad for the Newsome kid. They just acquired. And he comes over and first play as a Jaguar gets beat. All right, Liam Coen making his way to the podium, I'm told. So is he there now, Livy? Okay. Walking down the hallway, so we'll hear from him here momentarily, get his thoughts about this game. This is a tough loss for him. He hasn't dealt with this in a few weeks, so let's see what his attitude, what his thoughts are. I'm sure he's going to be disappointed in the offense and scoring just 12 points. So we'll hear what he has to say about the Jags' loss today to the Seattle Seahawks. 23-12, your final score. The Seahawks get it done to improve to 4-2. Jaguars fall to 4-2, and tough one here at the bank. Out-physicaled by the Seahawks. 7 sacks on Trevor Lawrence. That is a personal record for Trevor. Never been sacked before 7 times in an NFL game. So tough day for him as well in terms of the beating that he took, because think about last week he was running all over the place, took some shots, took some more shots today. So interestingly enough, for Trevor, goes down 7 times. Think about it. He was the least sacked guy going into today. But the last 2 weeks, offensive line has not been as good. Anton Harrison really struggled, got a couple penalties called at him when he lines up too far back, and that's as a result of giving up sacks, right? So you want to get a little jump, every advantage you can, so you kind of line up a little bit further back, but you gotta have your foot's got to be even with the center. So obviously that wasn't the case. So Jaguars fall today to the Seattle Seahawks. First loss of the year at the bank, unfortunately, for the Jaguars by a final of 23-12. Waiting on Liam Coen to take the stage, give us some answers, give us some insight, give us some answers to some questions that we shall have for him. Travis Hunter, 4 catches for 15 yards. Brian Thomas Jr., good game, but a couple over the middle that a little bit dicey. You got to come up with a drop and a short arm, a business decision, as they like to call it. So here's Liam Coen.
Pressure on Trevor. I think he got pressure 20 times on an unbelievable number of dropbacks and I think 7 sacks.
Yeah, just combination of whether it's one-on-one protection, some stunts. We knew that they were pretty good in some of their stunt game and twists and pressures. I think early on he made a protection adjustment where he got sacked, and it kind of confused the running back a little bit and didn't pick up the blitz. I think it's probably a combination of probably some good players on their side and beating us maybe at some points. I got to watch the tape, and then whether we're being able to progress or not, being able to get back to other throws. Maybe didn't feel like he had enough time in some ways. So got to move the pocket a little bit more. And, we tried to throw some screens, and then their DNs are just reading out of all the screens. The only screens that were effective were the play action halfback screens. And when you're in a little bit of a drop back game, you're trying to throw screens to balance the rush. They played those well. So credit to them. They beat us up front.
Devin Lloyd on the sidelines, saw him a little bit in the second half, was holding his helmet. Was that anything health-related, decision, coaching staff-wise? And then what did you see from Ben Trell?
Yeah, so Devin had a little bit something get a little tight on him and played the first half, came in the second half, it tightened up on him. Tried to loosen up. We tried to go in the second half and just couldn't go, just couldn't do it. So I honestly have no idea truly how Ventrell played or not. But we made that decision to ultimately kind of protect him that way.
Liam, a couple guys just said in the locker room, quote, "We killed ourselves today," quote. If you agree with that, how frustrating is that some of those pre-snap things keep popping up?
Yeah, it's on me. It's an undisciplined operation at the moment, and it's on me, and it's got to get fixed. It's a great opportunity this week to get it fixed, right? We're going on the road. We're flying to another country. Being together as a group, look ourselves in the mirror and try to figure out from an operation and habit standpoint what is standing in our way, because right now it's us.
Do you have an initial thought on how you can get that message home to them more?
No, we had a very honest conversation in there about it. You know, that was the conversation we just had. I'm sure they were probably echoing that message. Yeah, we've tried to go tempo to ultimately chill out with the motions, to just line up and get them in a formation to just go play. You know, we had a touchdown called back because of an alignment issue. We had 2 on the tackle after positive plays. So it's not even just the penalties. It's when they're happening as well is the Achilles heel at the moment.
Liam, lack of pressure on Darnold, and I know Trayvon's obviously not in there, so that played a role. But what can you do maybe to kind of get
we got to heat him up maybe a little. You know, just look at it. All right, do we need to send a little bit more? You know, just didn't get enough pressure at all. I thought they did a nice job at times of being balanced, right? Like they were able to run it effectively enough. It was kind of a weird game. You look up at times and you're like, wait, how are we losing? You know, like from a first down standpoint, all that. And then I think they had like 53 yards rushing at one point in the second half or whatever it was. And so it just felt weird. They hit enough explosives and we didn't. Like that's the reality is we didn't get after their quarterback. They got after ours. They hit a couple big plays in the past game and we did not. So I don't think either team probably ran it as well as we've been, you know, running the football. We did come out with a mindset of us wanting to throw the ball, but we've got to get after their quarterback more as they got after ours.
Liam, how different is this loss compared to the Cincinnati loss in your mind, and how much of a step back do you think this team took after such an emotional win on Monday night?
You know, I think any loss, you're dealing with some sort of quote-unquote adversity. I think the Cincinnati one was a game where you're leading the entire time and they just win at the end. And so you're taking that was frustrating because you felt like you dominated the game. This was a different deal where we come out, we don't really do much offensively early on. We score and miss an extra point. So it was like those deflating moments. I think that's probably the theme of today was positive, then something negative would occur and kind of take the wind out of our sails. You know, I thought it was a very honest locker room in there in terms of understanding, guys, that we will not beat good quality teams like this, whether you're home, on the road, in London, on the West Coast, doesn't matter, if we continue to hurt ourselves and have these self-inflicted wounds that ultimately is on me.
Concern level with your kicker?
No, I mean, look, you know, I think the one on the extra point, I don't know exactly quite what happened on that. The field goal, we didn't help them. We took a sack on the prior play that knocked it back about 8 or 9 yards. Look, he knows he's got to make kicks, and he's as hard on himself as anybody. I still have a lot of trust and confidence in Cam. I think we just got to go make some of these kicks in real live games.
How much of this is a reality check of not getting the takeaways that you've been getting? And do you think at all that this team spent the week reveling in a big Monday night win?
No, I don't think that was the case. I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong. I think when you walked into our building after the Kansas City game, it wasn't like everybody was walking around like we were God's gift to ball. You know, it was a pretty frustrating, actually, week in some ways, in terms of like you're so happy, obviously you won, but it was that process over the results that ultimately bit us in the butt today, right? Like that, not getting those turnovers in excess and then have not with the lack of explosives on offense in a lot of ways, and giving up a few explosives on defense. With the amount of penalties we had, you're not going to win that game very often. I mean, we had a chance to win, right? You're down by 1 score at halftime. You score, miss the kick, and just not going to win.
The 2 explosives, giving up by the defense, just what did you see on those? Did it feel like they just called the right things at the right time?
They
Miscommunication?
did. I got to give those guys credit on their side of the ball as well. I think, Kubiak's done a nice job being balanced and mixing it. They caught us in quarters and had a quarters beater. They had their fast guy run right down on a post and play action where your safeties are trying to fit the run, and caught us in outside leverage quarters. And then another one on the over, they caught us in 3 deep. So he definitely got us in a few priority calls and the priority looks. Got to go watch the tape and see if there was anything we could have done better from a one-on-one or fundamentally technique, leverage. But ultimately, they had some timely play calls.
Coach, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
All right, that's Liam Coen. You just heard his comments, and he referred back to the penalties, which are definitely getting frustrating. And they did have a touchdown called back. Now, it was kind of a gift touchdown, the ball. But it's something you have to do if you got Brian Thomas Jr. You got to throw the ball up to him and see if it. Travis Hunter, same thing. Unfortunately, Travis Hunter did not line up properly, I believe, on that particular play, and that allowed there to have the touchdown nullified, which was a big deal. They had holding calls, which nullified some positive plays. So, again, he says that's on him, and I don't know. I mean, he says he's trying everything with this football team, so I don't know. Is the offense too complicated? Do we not have a team that can figure this stuff out? I mean, he has run and been a part of this offense for a lot of years. I don't think he's added to it. So something's got to give here. But we cannot continue to have these types of penalties. Interesting comments about Devin Lloyd, who we noticed early was not in the game. He's been playing so well for the Jaguars on the defensive side of the ball. I saw Ventrell Miller get in. He was involved in the 1 sack, and we're not getting pressure. We're not getting pressure at all. And so Coen referred back to we might have to heat it up. We might have to blitz more. And maybe he does. I think Trayvon Walker, I've told you this before, he's a hands guy. And not having the use of a hand, it concerned me going into the game. I applaud him for giving it a try. I think 70% of Trayvon is better than a lot of the other guys, so I'm glad he played. But he is going to be neutralized a little bit as well until he heals up. So, and again, we still really only have Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker as anybody who can seem to get to the quarterback. So, tough day for the pass rush. Sam Darnold had a lot of time, got sacked just one time when we had the big blitz. Anton Harrison, tough day at the office. Spoke, though, with Brent just moments ago.
How tough was that just to get anything going out there?
It was real tough. We killed ourselves a lot. Me with them 2 formation things, just all of us, we just got to be better, go back to the drawing board, and just hone into the little details.
Oh, is that a fine line, by the way, where you're line? How fine is that line where you're lining up?
Yeah, it's very fine. I feel like I was good, but the rest felt different, so I just got to start to check in with them, make sure I was good so I wouldn't kill the offensive drives anymore.
That's a really good front. How challenging were they? I mean, obviously 7 sacks, I think that's a career high for Trevor.
Obviously it's not the outcome we wanted. That's a tough D-line. They did a lot of different things. They mixed it up a lot. At the end of the day, we just got to follow our rules, trust them, trust the line, trust everybody out there, and get the job done.
How hard do you think, in hindsight, coming off the big win, the compilation of all these weeks out west, good football teams, physical football teams, does it catch up to you sometimes?
You want to say yeah, but at the end of the day, it's NFL. So we know what's coming. You know it's another game after the last one. You know every game going to be a tough one. So we knew it coming in. It was going to be a physical game. It was going to be a trenches game. We had the trenches was going to lead it, and we had to win. We wasn't successful today. In the trenches, we didn't do a great job. But it's something we need to watch the film, talk, be honest with each other, and go on to next week.
At the end of the day, it's the NFL. You're exactly right, Anton. So good for you, and good for you for standing up and answering questions. He did not have a great day. You heard him talk about his penalties. You heard him talk about giving up 7 sacks. It wasn't all on him, obviously, but there was some on him, and it was the offensive line has lost its way. It started out very physical this year. I don't know if they're nicked up. I don't know if they're tired. Listen, they have played a lot of good teams in a row here. We talked about this part of the schedule, and 4-2 is A-okay. It just stinks to lose a football game, and that's what they're going through right now. And now they got to rebound. They got to go home. They got to pack. They got to get ready, and they go off to London tomorrow. So they'll be out there, but maybe that'll be a good thing for them to spend a week out there together, maybe do some bonding or whatever. I don't know. I'm trying to find answers too, guys. Who knows? But the offensive line is the focal point, and we lauded them, and they were terrific game after game after game to start this season. But I feel like the last 8 quarters, not so much. Pretty shaky stuff, and they're going to have to figure this out and get better in a hurry, because guess what? That Seahawks defense that you saw is really good. You know who else is better? The Rams. The Rams have Young and Verse who rush the passer, and they're terrific football players, terrific young football players, and they both have a lot of sacks. What did you say? You have BTJ? Or he's coming to the podium? All right, let's hear from Brian Thomas Jr. after his game today.
How tough was it out there today with what Seattle was doing defensively?
I mean, I don't feel like it was really tough or nothing. I feel like we just had like a lot of penalties. Every time we would get a good play or get a drive started, I feel like we would set ourselves back with a penalty or something. Just like little stuff. I feel like we had a good game plan. I feel like some of the stuff that we were doing was working. We just got to quit beating ourselves, and I mean, like that was really it.
You guys, obviously, there's been a lot of that. There's been a lot of that for the last 5 weeks. Yeah. Can you fix that? Can you get out of that? And how much do you have to fix that?
Yeah, you definitely can fix it. And that's something that we definitely do got to fix and get out of. I mean, that's the only way we're gonna win games. We got to just keep fighting, keep going out to practice, practicing hard, and clean up all the little stuff, all the pre-play stuff. I mean, Coach is doing a great job of, helping us, trying to help us out. We just got to go out there and execute, and stuff that he does help us out with. We just got to go out there and do it to the best of our ability and get the job done.
How do you assess your play? It looks like the last couple of weeks starting to get going, but I know you probably like to have a player or two back as well.
Yeah, that's always. I mean, I feel like I've been doing better the past couple of games. Still had the one that I feel like I could have had. But I mean, I'm going to keep pushing, keep working hard, keep coming back each and every week. Pushing and trying to be the best that I can be each and every down.
Sorry, is it a sign that you and Trevor are getting into a better rhythm?
I mean, it's like we're just going out there playing, just trying to help our team, help the team out, do what we can do to win, and just going out there, just being ourselves, being the best that we can be, and just trying to push each other, push to be the best that we can be as a team.
Coming off of Monday's big win, going to London tomorrow, do you feel like that maybe there was just a lot to think about going into this game that may have gotten in the way?
Nah, it's the NFL. I mean, it's a lot going on. You got to be able to get through. You have games on Monday night, and you got to be able to push through. Come out today and come out there and play hard. I mean, Coach did a great job of giving us, helping us out during the week to keep us fresh, to come out here so we can be fresh. We just got to come out here and execute. That's really it.
Do you think there are some good signs, even in a loss, the resilience? I mean, it obviously wasn't all going your way, but you still had a chance a couple of times in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like the defense gave us a couple chances at the end. We just got to execute, come out. When they do give us a chance, we got to go out there and put points up and do what we can do to help the team win. So we just got to come out and execute.
8 catches, 90 yards, 1 drop, and 1 business decision for Brian Thomas Jr. today, I thought, in watching him, and a touchdown, which is first of the year. 6 games into the season, this is more like Brian Thomas Jr., but we still need a little bit more from Brian Thomas Jr. So If he truly wants to be the elite, one of the elite receivers in the National Football League, he's got to put together a couple big games here as we continue on in this season. All right, next up, Travis Hunter. Just like his play on the field, he's quick, and he'll be quick with his answers as well. Here's Travis Hunter in the locker room after the game.
Well, how tough was it to get anything going offensively today?
It was just tough for us. We just got to home in on the details, especially me. You know, I had a couple of MAs, and I got to do work.
Is it a frustrating day at times because you see you might have some deep stuff, but Trevor sacked 7 times, didn't really have a lot of time to get to some of the things you're trying to do?
Man, that's what happened with football. We just got to do better. We got to do our job, and we don't pick on anybody on our team. That's what happened. We just got to do better.
How about on the other side of the ball? What did you think of the matchup, especially I think in the second half with Jackson?
It was great. You know, he's a great receiver. My job is to go out there and be on the defense side of the ball and don't let them score. So I'm just trying to go out there and just do my job.
Did you make some mistakes today, the offsides and the drop that maybe you weren't making earlier in the season? It was a little bit of a step back. What do you think?
No, I just got to just do better. You know, offsides, I thought I checked with the ref. He gave me a thumbs up, but hey, that's on me. I just got to do better, make sure I'm looking on the sideline, make sure I know what he gave me, and also the drop, I just got to be able to be in the right spot for Trevor. You know, he thought I was going to come out faster than what I did, which I should have, so that was on me.
That was good defense out there today, wasn't it?
On what side of
Seattle?
Yeah. They did what they had to do. They stopped us from putting points on the board.
Is that just how it is in the league, where there's some inconsistencies with each week? Some weeks you're on, some weeks maybe you're not on?
Only been here for a couple weeks, so I can't really tell you how I feel about that. But yeah, we just got to do better. You know, we was inconsistent today. We beat ourselves more than anything, and we just got to home in on the details. We're going to London. We just got to be focused.
Last time you guys lost Cincinnati, it seemed like you did kind of get focused. Obviously, roll off a few wins. Do you think this will do the same thing?
Hopefully it does. I would like for it to make sure we home in on the details and we go out there and win and dominate how we know we should be doing. We're facing adversity right now. We got a long flight tomorrow, and we got a long week ahead of us, and we just got to go out there and do our job.
Okay, looking forward to the London experience.
I'm going out there to play football, not to go sightsee.
Do you guys, was it hard to come off Monday night a little bit, short week, all the hype, just to get everything recovered for your bodies and your minds the way you kind of wanted to? Now you look back at it.
Not for me. I did everything I had to do to get my body prepared for this week. So probably for the other guys, it probably banged at the body a little bit. But I'm a young guy, so I had fresh legs and knew it on Tuesday. So I just came in and did my job.
Thanks, man.
Did you get baptized this morning?
Yes.
Why did you do that?
It's a crazy question. Why did I get baptized?
Why did you choose to go to church this morning?
Sunday. It's God's day, and I've been planning to get baptized for a minute. You know, I want to change my life over, become a better man.
What does it mean to you?
It means a lot. You know, becoming a better man, leaving my old flesh, and just becoming the new Travis.
Yeah, there was video of Travis Hunter getting baptized this weekend, I think, so making its way on social media. So congratulations, I guess, is the right thing to say to that young man. Certainly good to see. I loved his line about London. I'm not going to sightsee. I'm going to play football. Good for you, Travis Hunter. Listen, he's close, man. He had that one play on the sideline again. He gives us one of these. He teases us every game with one of those. He ended up only with 4 for 15 because he caught 2 balls. I think he lost yards. It's not his fault. He gets they try these little bubble screens and they don't seem to work. So they did try to hit him one time in the end zone for a touchdown. It was well covered. So give Seattle some credit on that one. And I think he did a better job than anyone on Jackson Smith and Jigba, who, by the way, had 8 catches for 162 yards today. A big day for that young man. He's a great receiver, but had a lot of his damage done really in the first half. So overall, listen, Travis Hunter continues to progress. We just, again, another guy that we need to keep going, and still trying to figure out, corner, receiver. I will continue to maintain, and I may be wrong, and they know a lot more football than me. I'd rather see him at corner full time and then receiver in packages, where we're able to just get the ball to him, throw the ball deep to him, let him be an athlete, let him go get it. That's what he seems to be best at least in my opinion. All right, rookie center Jonah Monheim got a start today in place of the injured center, Hainsey. So Brent talked with him just moments ago. Here's Jonah Monheim in the locker room.
How tough was that, whether it was you guys beating yourself or just how good that front is for Seattle?
Yeah, certainly tough. Certainly a lot of moments that we've got to execute better up front. But, that's what the National Football League is. It's good teams every week going against really good players, good units. So we've got to watch it. We've got to learn from it. We've got to be better.
What did you make of your first career start?
Again, I'll have to go watch it. But there's always a handful of things you feel good about, a handful of things you got to be better at. And that goes for myself. That goes for our unit as a whole.
Do you feel like do you guys feel a game like that where you're just it's going and then coming back, just a lot of neutral ground being gained instead of in a good rhythm?
Yeah, I mean, a couple of things that we were just hurting ourselves there a little too much, and knowing that we can't beat ourselves against a quality football team like they are.
You guys played very well physically for the first 5 games. Did you think you got beat in that department today?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think we've got to watch it. We've got to learn from it. When they hit the quarterback that many times, that's not great by us. So yeah, we've got to be better.
The penalties have been 6 weeks now. It was decent Monday night, but I know you can fix it. Mm-hmm. But is there some concern that you won't fix it and this is a trend?
I wouldn't say there's a concern. I mean, there's always an opportunity to get better at whatever it is, whether that's technique, whether that's communication, whether that's avoiding penalties. I think we're really good at being process-oriented around here, so no matter what, we've got to come back to work tomorrow and learn from it and get better at it, whether this was a win or a loss, whether we had a lot of penalties or we didn't. We've got to come back and be better from it and take it one day at a time.
I think this gives you a little sense of urgency going to London.
Absolutely. I mean, adversity always does that, right? Adversity always, makes you either come together or not. And so I think, obviously, I believe that our team will come together and learn from it.
Tell you one thing, that guy sounds like a young man who's going to play in the league for a long time. Had all the right answers, I thought, in listening to Jonah Monheim as the Jaguars fall to the Seattle Seahawks 23-12. Awaiting Trevor Lawrence, taking a little bit longer than usual, maybe a little bit of treatment for OTL 16. Took some shots out there today, 7 sacks. And a few knockdowns as well. Also a roughing the quarterback on Seattle during the game. So there you see the podium. We were told he is on his way. So we'll wait to hear from him. We'll wrap it up for you with him. But a couple other things. Let's go over it one more time. Jags lose today. Lose for the first time at the bank. Fall to 4-2. The Colts were winners. So the Colts back in first in the AFC South at 5-1. Jags are going through the tough part of their schedule. They got one more before a break, and that's the LA Rams, a very good football team, a team a lot like this team, a team that is built for an NFC West physical San Francisco we've seen, and we beat them. All right, we got San Francisco, lost to Seattle, now we get the Rams. Got Arizona a little bit later out west, but this is a tough stretch for the Jags. We all knew that going into the season. I had even suggested 2-5 would be not disaster. Again, as long as the Jags are playing like this. Now, today I don't feel like they went like this. I don't feel like they got better as a football team. Hopefully they learned a lot, and their best football will remain in front of them. We are hoping and thinking that Liam Coen will get this offense going at some point this season and functioning at a higher level. There are way too many penalties, as you've heard the players say. And let's see what Trevor has to say now as he makes his way to the podium.
Coming off big-time Monday night win, everything you guys did to shoot yourselves in the foot, it looked like maybe the last couple of years.
We just obviously didn't play our best ball today. A lot of mistakes, a lot of things that self-inflicted wounds like we talked about in the past. And, so it's just, we got to clean it up. We got to be more detailed. We just can't have so many penalties. We had a lot of drives where we started off negative, and it's just hard to play in second and third and long all game. So I think that's the obvious, right? We're doing some difficult things well, and then we're doing the simple thing. We're messing up the simple things and having a lot of penalties, and it's just hard to sustain drives when you keep going backwards. So there's some stuff we got to clean up. We got to look in the mirror and fix the problems that have really been there all year. I feel like last week we did better with some of the penalties, but it showed up again this week. So we got to clean it up and move forward.
Liam said that there was a clear focus on throwing the ball going into the game, but in terms of the discrepancy between the run and the pass, how would you evaluate balancing the two today?
I think that was definitely part of our plan, was to going in that we throw it more, especially early on in the game. This is this defense has done a good job of stopping the run, and we felt like we had some opportunities on the outside and the perimeter to make some plays, and so that was part of the plan. Obviously, you want to run it as well as you can as the game settles in, or as you settle into the game, and finding more opportunities there. And I felt like a lot of opportunities that I had where I could have taken some completions on first down and helped keep us out of some second and long. So I got to be better. I didn't think I started the game great. Missed a couple throws and had some opportunities where I feel like I could have got backside and didn't. So there's a lot of things out there that we didn't take advantage of. Obviously we did some things in the passing game well, but more consistency. We first, second down, we weren't great.
Trevor, Liam stood there and said it's on him today. What was his message to you guys in the locker room?
Man, it's on all of us. As far as his message was great with the team. It's just accountability. All of us looking ourselves in the mirror, and and he said the same thing he said to you guys. He said to us, and it's on all of us. It's never on him. It's never on just one person. It's never on. It's all of us taking accountability and fixing the things that we can control. I know that there's a lot of things that we did on offense today that. It doesn't have to do with coaching. It's just, players, doing their job at the right time, including myself. Like, just do your job, progress, make the play that's there. The penalty stuff, focus, attention to detail throughout the game. There's things that we know better and we didn't execute well today. So it's on all of us, and I think that's the first step, is everybody taking accountability and, hey, what can I fix? Don't start pointing fingers and looking at anybody else. We all got plenty that we can fix.
Hey, Trevor, it seemed like today the offense couldn't get into a groove. What do you feel like went wrong there, and how challenging is it maybe when there's pressure, there's different things that are happening around you?
Yeah, it can be challenging, but it's the NFL, and you play good teams, and you got to find a way to move the ball more consistently, to start faster. I think to start the game, they matched our first play really well. It was a good coverage for that play that we ran, and they did a good job and didn't have much there. But then the second play, I didn't progress on a quick game. They covered up the front side, didn't get backside, and then ended up getting the holding because I scrambled super early and put Ezra in a tough spot. So that's an example of just something I can improve on. And from there, it felt like the first two drives, I think they were 3 and out, and just puts our defense in a tough spot. And putting them back on the field over and over again and not getting points, not moving the ball, flipping the field, that's a big deal. So there's things where we got to clean up and start games faster.
Trevor, 6 weeks in, I guess at this point, you guys past the point of the newness of the offense, trying to work with it, figure out how it runs, everything like that, and in game situations and all that stuff, getting different looks. Are you guys beyond that at this point?
Yeah. This is our system. We know what it is. A lot of the stuff that you have game plan stuff that's new every week a little bit, but we're all comfortable in what we're doing and on the same page. I think some of the procedural stuff as far as getting in and out of the huddle, getting up there was a lot better today, but then we had some penalties on some other things that haven't necessarily showed up yet, but showed up today same thing. It's going backwards though that we got to correct. But as far as the offense, I think guys know what to do, and we know what we're doing. We just have to have a little bit more focus at times and not make the self-inflicted mistakes.
Trevor, 7 sacks is one thing, but all those pressures, all the knockdowns and everything, when does does it become psychological at that point for you when you're going back on a pass attempt, like, oh, here they come again, that kind of thing?
No, that's part of playing quarterback in the NFL. It's tight pocket back there. Those guys on the other side of the ball get paid a lot of money to rush the passer, and that's their job. So there's times where that's just part of it, and you got to play through it. And I thought we managed some of that well today at times, made some plays down the field. But yeah, we kind of cleaned it up. I thought there was some times where I could have been better in the pocket with some of my movement and not moving into some pressures. That group on defense does a good job of moving around, trying to pick our guys up front, and it can make it messy at times. So I got to be able to navigate in there and make throws down the field and find guys and get the ball in my hands when necessary, and not take quite as many sacks.
Liam said it wasn't just the penalties, it's when they're happening, they're wiping out positive plays. Does that kind of feel like that's what's kind of been halting momentum sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, that hurts. Today we had, I think, 3 or 4 big plays with a penalty, and it gets called back. And, yeah, it's just the feeling of that momentum, like, now we're going backwards 10 yards instead of having the 50-yard play or the touchdown, to BT or whatever it is. Now we're going backwards, and it wipes out a big play. So, but we got to, when that happens, we still got to respond and find a way to go score. But, yeah, you don't want to wipe out those positive plays for sure.
Trevor, how much do you think they took away some of the things you wanted to do, especially down the field with the 33 pressures and 7 sacks? Could you just not get to some of it?
Yeah, I would say sometimes. Yeah, obviously you have shots, and like I said, the defense is, they're trying to rush the passer, they're playing coverage, and sometimes you just don't get the look that you need to throw the ball downfield. And then sometimes we had time and opportunity, and they played the coverage where it just didn't present itself. We had to check it down. So I think there's a good mix of that. But they did what we thought they would do coming into the game. We just didn't execute good enough.
In terms of the penalties, and maybe this is more of a question for Coach than it is for you, but how do you stop, like like you said, the boneheaded penalties at the line of scrimmage? Is it a matter of players getting together? Is it a matter of discipline? Like, how would you evaluate how you can counter it?
Yeah, I mean, it's just everyone taking ownership of their part of it. Look at today and say, all right, what can I do to improve this? How can I help the guy next to me or yourself or whatever? I think it's more just focusing on what you can do as an individual. And I think that's where some of the things might be more of just like a lapse in focus at a certain time that are little penalties like the offsides or whatever it is. It's just, that consistent focus throughout the game to where these things don't show up. Besides that, we all know what they are, and you got to fix them. It's on us as players to just not do those things. I mean, at the end of the day, so you can only coach it so much. You got to make the improvements and keep that focus throughout the game. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Trevor.
All right, that's Trevor Lawrence from a Monday night high to a Sunday afternoon low. The Jaguars come up short today, and they are not victorious, and they will have to fix things quickly. Trevor had some interesting comments, and obviously part of it is, hey, listen, guys, what we got to do is everybody's got to take some ownership. Everybody's got to take some accountability, and he's right about that. Football's the ultimate team game. It's a beautiful thing, right? But you know what? Travis Hunter can't line up wrong, right? If he doesn't do that, they get a touchdown to Brian Thomas Jr. You know what? Anton Harrison can't get 2 penalties for not being, up on the line of scrimmage. You know what? We can't get a holding call. You know what? Trevor can't roll out of the pocket too quickly. You know what? Brian Thomas Jr. can't drop that one ball. It's all those little things that add up, and then you look up and you have 12 points, and you're like, oh boy, what happened there? All right. Going to break it all down more tonight on Action Sports Jax Prime Time, so we'll see you this evening, 10:30 on Fox 30, and we'll do it again on CBS 47, and Brent will be along, and we'll do all that for you. And then the boys are off to London tomorrow. They'll take on the LA Rams a week from today, 9:30 Eastern kick. Remember, that's an early kick, so you get to have breakfast with the Jaguars, and hopefully they can not let this losing, continue. Try to get to 5-2. Oh boy, we'd all take 5-2 at the break, wouldn't we? And 4-3, that ain't bad, but you don't want to be there. You don't want to have 2 losses going into the break. That would be extremely disappointing. And we'll see. We'll go from there. So Jags fall short today. First time that's happened to them at the bank. And appreciate you hanging out with us on the post-game show. 23-12, Seattle beating Jacksonville today for the entire Action Sports Jax team. This is Dan Hicken. So long.
Thanks for watching the Action Sports Jax postgame show.